Next, I'm going to take you guys through our Flemish giant setup. They do have a similar concept in that they have a wooden hutch on the inside and their food and water on the indoor yard. And then we have a hole cut into their indoor yard, which has a roof on it, and the same rocks and wood going around, but no fence buried in the ground, but a hole cut out so they can go out into the larger yard. So first, let's go in and check out their indoor yard area. And here we have again another big water bowl and PVC for the food, which works really well. And again, this isn't just a tarp on the top, but wood, so that it is nice and predator proof because of the wood being so closely connected, and more of this hardwire cloth here all the way downstairs. And then a big hutch so that if we have a pair in here, or even 4 bunnies that want to hang out in here or get out of the rain, they can, but this is pretty waterproof already, so they rarely go in here. And it can also be used as a place for a mom to have her bunnies, but we would then take those bunnies and move them if we were to see that she was either about to give birth or we saw that she had bunnies in here. And then here we have a hole cut away where they can get out to the rest of the larger yard, which you can see is connected here with some more T-posts. And then we're switching to poultry netting because it's bunny proof, and it doesn't really matter if it's fox proof or not, because a predator could just jump over. So the poultry netting is a little easier to work with and a little cheaper. And then it goes all the way around here. You can see more poultry netting connecting to the yard. Okay, so here we go, walking around the side of the bunny yard. This is kind of the spot where we step in. You can get away with just making the fence a little shorter and stepping over, unless you have bunnies that can really jump. A lot of the bunnies can jump about 3 feet, but some it's a little shorter, and then some it's a little higher. But 3 feet is kind of what does it around here with the breeds that we have and their lack of desire to get out. So in a few spots we just have places where we step over the fence instead of building a lot of gates, because gates are one point where a bunny can, you know, kind of climb out, or you have to keep it so tight that a bunny can't crawl in between the gate and the fence posts, or under the gate for that matter. Here again is their yard. And that poultry netting is the end of the fence. And it's just T-posts, and then occasionally touching some of the trees here. And then our 4 Flemish giants, 2 of which are still back in the house there. Again, our house is waterproof, wooden, and big enough for 1 bunny or a few of them, nice and off the ground. But he's a big guy. I think off of memory he's 12 to 15 pounds already, and he's still got some growing to do. He's just pretty in the sun here. And then this is Midnight. She's a bit older, and we're going to be keeping her name because it's a registered name and a good call name for her. And she does actually respond to it a little bit. And they're just loving the grass here. I think a yard of this size will last them quite a while, and it shouldn't go dead on us anytime soon. Just have to find that balance between the amount of space they have, how dense or tall your grass is when you put them in. And it does help with the feed cost too. They can get out and actually eat something that's grown out of the ground as opposed to constantly feeding them pellets. See if we can get a little closer to Midnight here. Hey, Midnight. And the main difference with this yard is that we did not put down any rocks or wood. What we did is use fence spikes. It was the first time I did this. So far it's been working pretty well because we did, buy a box of I think 500 of the things and just put them every 2 or 3 inches into the ground. And again, with just having 4 bunnies that are so large over here, it's a lot different than having a dozen or more that are constantly digging, or you don't know who's pregnant or not. So the desire might be stronger to dig out and go build a nest. But so far, this has been serving us really well. Yeah, I won't have to walk around the entire thing because you can't really see it. But that is what's holding the net down, preventing the bunnies from getting out. And here again, there's the weight in and out. And what we'll do too, sometimes we'll sweep out the poo and other mess that's gotten into the run if it's just building up too much. But other times we'll put in a layer of leaves or other kind of compost to, one, make it so they're not getting dirty and stepping in their own pellets, but also so that it builds up the dirt, so when it rains it just dries out very quickly and keeps them above the water level when it rains. Okay, well, this is another example of a good setup for either breeding or a pet. We may add a few more Flemish Giants into this space, because again, you do have the room for it, because they do spend so much of their time out in the yard rather than packed into the overnight yard here, which is good.